I'm Izzy, and this is Questions on the Red Couch. What's one good and one bad thing about the Nashville music scene? One good thing, one incredibly great thing is the support that you get from the community. I feel like every show I've done and like all my friends that do shows, like everybody just tries to go out to as many shows as possible and they all show up and like bring their friends and it's like a really tight knit community in all genres, like across the board. People always show up for each other. And so I think that is one really good and awesome thing. And everyone's so talented. Um, One bad thing about the music scene, I guess, it's not horribly bad. It's just kind of like with everything, it's super competitive. So, it's you got to find ways to really try and stand out, sort of in that respect. And a lot of people are doing the same thing you're trying to do. And I like that it's not every man for themselves, but it also sometimes can be, as anything is. So I feel like that's the only negative. But otherwise, it's great. How do you balance being an artist and a student? I like these questions. It's definitely difficult, especially like trying to finish up my degree, but I'm trying to graduate early and sort of finish up that part of my life so I can focus and dedicate more time to being an artist. But that does predominantly come first. So I kind of just sort of arrange my schedule in a way that allows me to do both. It's rough though. Finals week, shows. It's rough, but we're gonna get it done. What's one thing you can't live without? No, not this question. I knew it was coming. I literally joked about it. I'm like, what is the answer to this question? Oh my God. One thing I can't live without. Well, obviously the most generic answer is like music, but I'll pick something that's more interesting. One thing I can't live without is, this is kind of cringy, maybe, I don't know, books. I'm like a huge reader. I like to read a lot, and that's where I draw a lot of inspiration for stuff. So I love to read. I couldn't live without Barnes and Noble. Please don't close. The one just closed by my house. I'm feeling depressed about it. So I like that. I get lost in my own little world. I'm like a grandma, curl up with some tea. Riveting Friday night. Where's the best place to play a live gig? That definitely depends on if we're in New York or if we're in Nashville. Nashville, my favorite venue, one of my favorite venues is Exit In. I just played that venue opening for an artist who is New York based. Her name is Alexa Valentino. And also the East Room is incredible. Great sound. The End. So many places. Those are great in Nashville. And my favorite place in New York, which I haven't done a full band show yet, which is odd because this is home base, but it's definitely Bowery Ballroom was amazing. I opened for a Long Island-based indie rock band called RC Drive in March last year, and that venue was like, it was so beautiful. The sound was incredible, and the people were so nice. So that was like the best experience I've had playing in New York City by far. What's your guilty pleasure? This is like some play on my song or some shit. I have a song called Guilty Pleasure. I don't know if that was intentional. I dropped that in high school though. Not gonna talk about it. Whenever I like want to just like clean or like do homework or just, I don't know, just put on like background noise, I'll put on Harry Potter ambiance like on YouTube. Like you gotta, don't knock it till you try it, okay? You go on YouTube and you look up and they have everything. Like Outlander, it's like my favorite show. They have that ambiance and it's like just like little instrumental music with like the little like Harry Potter like noise in the background. And it's like cozy night at Hogwarts. I don't know. That really does fit the Potter last name and is slightly embarrassing. That's the guilty pleasure. Who's your celebrity crush? John Krasinski. Kind of a weird option here. I don't know. I saw The Office when I was younger and I was like, yeah, that's it. I love you. And I've loved him ever since. Weird, but love you, John. I love Quiet Place. And I love you and Emily Blunt, your wife. Yep. Who's your biggest music inspiration? Okay, I love this question. Definitely Maggie Rogers or Stevie Nicks, Noah Kahan. Those are a lot of my favorite and biggest influences. Lizzie McAlpine. We love Taylor Swift. Like, we're on that, but those are definitely my biggest influences. Describe the music scene in Long Island growing up. I feel like growing up on Long Island, I didn't really get involved actively in the music scene until I was in high school. I started doing, like, karaoke stuff. They do a lot of karaoke stuff at bars, but then I feel like what I do mostly is just play, like, restaurant gigs and bar gigs and stuff like that, and that scene is super active, on Long Island. There's live music at all these different places. There are great venues like the Paramount, 89 North, those are great, and the music community, I would say, on Long Island is, like, pretty tight-knit. Like, usually when I meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, I've played at this place." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know that person, and I've played there," and everything, so it's definitely supportive, and it's mostly, like, acoustic stuff, I feel like. I mean, that's not always true, but I haven't played at any of, like, the bigger concert venues, but there's definitely a lot of good music, so grateful to grow up in a place with that. What's one piece of advice you'd give your younger self? Damn, we're getting, like, introspective out here. Definitely that comparison is the thief of joy, and especially, trying to break into an industry that is so competitive and stuff, you often, are surrounded by people who are incredibly talented and at times it can make you feel like doubtful of your own skill and of your own musicianship. Don't know if that's even what I'm trying to say, but I would just say, you have something unique and you have a purpose in the music world and in life in general. And don't give up on that. And know that, like, just because somebody else is great, like, that doesn't take away from the things that you have to offer as well. So keep pursuing it and don't compare. Just appreciate everybody else and all the cool shit they're doing too. Yeah.